We pride ourselves on modern technology, yet ancient structures like Kailasa challenge our very understanding of history. Did our ancestors possess engineering software that allowed them to carve granite with such impossible precision? These blocks weigh hundreds of tons, yet they are fitted so tightly that no blade can pass between them. Though separated by thousands of miles and years, the craftsmanship suggests a shared, forgotten blueprint. Today, we embark on a journey to 6 of the most mysterious locations on our planet.
Prepare yourself, because what you are about to learn may completely rewrite our understanding of the past.
Our first stop is the island of Java in Indonesia, home to ancient secrets.
Locals have long climbed the Gunung Padang mountain to pray to the spirits of their ancestors. They consider this a sacred hill, where ancient stones rest at the very summit.
Everything changed in 2010, when geologists arrived to work, not to pray.
They began scanning the soil, hoping to study the seismic activity of the region. But the instruments revealed something truly shocking beneath the layers of earth and grass.
Beneath the surface lay not a mountain, but a massive, man-made structure.
Under the soil and grass, a giant, handcrafted structure was hidden. When scientists conducted a radiocarbon analysis of organic material found between the stones, the result forced them to recheck their equipment. The test showed an age of about 20,000 years. To understand the scale, this was the time of the Deep Ice Age, when mammoths roamed the earth. And 15,000 years remained until the construction of the Egyptian pyramids.
This news instantly exploded on the internet because it breaks the entire conventional picture of the world.
According to official science, people 20,000 years ago were simple hunter-gatherers. They lived in caves and huts. They simply could not organize a construction of this scale. Lovers of alternative history immediately claimed that this is proof of the existence of Atlantis, or another highly developed civilization that perished during the global flood.
Who else could possess the technology to create the oldest pyramid in the world, if not a forgotten race of giants or aliens teaching our ancestors?
However, reality turned out to be a bit more prosaic, but no less interesting. When emotions subsided, geologists explained the nature of these mysterious stone blocks.
These are so-called columnar basalts, a phenomenon that happens when lava in a volcanic vent cools
and cracks into perfect hexagonal columns. So the bricks for this pyramid were cast by nature. But the most amazing thing is elsewhere. Ancient people really did find this place. And without having complex technology, they managed to move thousands of these heavy columns to strengthen the slopes and create terraces. This is not a construction from scratch, but a grand improvement of the natural landscape. The main mystery here is not in the lasers, but in sociology. How were hunter-gatherer tribes able to unite and work together for centuries for a single goal, without having kings and overseers? In Indonesia, people used what nature gave them, simply moving finished stones. But what is in India?
nature cannot explain. Because there, builders did not build a mountain, but methodically destroyed it. To create a masterpiece that is impossible to repeat. Welcome to the state of Maharashtra, to the Kailasa temple.
When you first see this construction, your brain refuses to understand how it is done.
Usually, buildings are built from the bottom up. They lay the foundation, then the walls, and the roof.
But here, everything is the opposite. This temple, with a 9-story house, is not built of blocks. It is entirely carved out of one giant rock, from top to bottom. Now imagine that this statue is a huge complex, with columns, halls, and statues of elephants.
And complex carvings, where every detail is part of a monolith.
To create this miracle, workers had to carve and remove 200,000 tons of volcanic rock from the quarry. If you load this stone into freight cars, the train would stretch for 40 kilometers.
And the most amazing thing, the architects had no right to make a mistake.
If the stonemason accidentally broke off a piece of the elephant's trunk, it could not be glued back.
Or replace the block. The whole temple would be ruined forever.
Official labels say the temple was built in just 18 years, in the 8th century AD.
And here begins the mathematics that drives researchers crazy.
If you divide 200,000 tons by 18 years, it turns out that workers had to mine and remove 30 tons of stone every day.
Without days off, without holidays, in the rain and heat.
And this is not counting the time for planning and fine carving.
Many are convinced that it is impossible to do this with a pickaxe and hammer.
There is a popular theory on the internet that ancient Indians used technology that we have lost.
From giant machines, traces of which are allegedly visible on the walls,
to directed sound capable of softening stone, or even lasers left by alien guests. After all, how else to explain such speed and accuracy? However, the mystery lies not in alien technology, but in the brilliant organization of labor.
Engineers explained that the secret of speed lay in the method of vertical notch. Workers did not need to lift heavy stones up, as in pyramid construction. Gravity worked for them. The debris simply dropped down.
As for the tools, ancient masters used steel wedges.
They drilled a series of holes in the rock, inserted dry wooden wedges, and watered them. The wood expanded and with monstrous force tore the stone exactly along the line.
Thousands of stonemasons worked in shifts around the clock, turning the rock into a work of art.
Kailasa is a monument to forgotten technologies, but to human perseverance and discipline,
which is sometimes stronger than any laser.
This temple stood in the spotlight for centuries, stunning pilgrims.
But the next structure was hidden from human eyes under the thickness of water. Until it was accidentally noticed by a lone diver who was just looking for sharks. We are moving to Japan, to the westernmost point of the country, the island of Yonaguni.
But instead of fish, he saw something on the bottom that took his breath away. Before him rose a gigantic stone machine, resembling a stepped pyramid or a fortress.
Aratake saw perfectly straight terraces, straight angles that looked like man-made steps.
And even strange formations, resembling a road hugging the monument.
The dimensions of the object are striking. It stretches 150 meters in length and 40 meters in width.
When news of the discovery reached the mainland, the world began talking about Japanese Atlantis.
The problem is that this city is underwater. The ocean level in this area was this low only during the last ice age, about 10,000 years ago. If this is indeed a man-made city, then it is older than the Egyptian pyramids
and Sumerian cities by 5,000 years.
Supporters of the civilization theory argue that these are the remains of the legendary continent of Mu,
the Pacific equivalent of Atlantis.
They point to details that are hard to write off as nature. Two round holes on the edge of the slab, resembling places for installing columns.
And a rock resembling a giant turtle head, or a human looking south.
Who, if not a forgotten great civilization, could build such a port before it was swallowed by the ocean?
The scientific community split into two camps.
Archaeologists skeptically shake their heads.
But geologists offer an interesting explanation.
The Yonaguni rock consists of sandstone and argillite.
Rock that has a property to crack in straight lines when tectonic plates move.
Strong underwater currents for centuries washed out small stones, leaving only large blocks with straight edges.
What we take for steps and terraces is the result of natural forces, not architects.
However, there is a nuance that even skeptics agree with. Perhaps nature created the base, the draft, and ancient people living here before the flood finished it. They could use natural platforms as a quarry or sanctuary.
Smoothing out angles and cutting through passages. So the truth is likely somewhere in the middle. This is a masterpiece created in collaboration between nature and man.
Water can keep secrets, but sometimes the earth hides them even more securely.
In Turkey, a farmer just wanted to repair his basement
and found the entrance to a real underworld, where thousands of people hid for centuries.
Imagine you are doing repairs in your house, destroying an old wall in the basement.
And suddenly you discover a dark tunnel leading to nowhere. This is what happened in 1963 to a simple resident of the Turkish region of Cappadocia.